All right, before we start this video, first of all, I would like to say that I speak and explain things very slowly. And that might be a problematic for you if you're looking for a video that is very fast paced. But in my point of view, it doesn't really work because, when I have to explain the tools and the techniques, you can, catch the explanation and understand the explanation very well when somebody speaks very slowly. That's just my point of view. However, we can go down in the tool of your video and then speed it up to make the video even faster if you like. Second, it's always useful to come back to the video whenever necessary because you might forget what I just explained. And in order to revisit the video, make sure that you save the video for future reference. And third, go down in the description below and then click on the link in order to download the software. Unless you already have the software, that's fine. But if you don't have it, go down in the description below and then click the link in order to download the software to try it out by yourself. Best way to learn anything. And then if you like, I'm more than happy to provide you the raw photo that I'm using for this video so that you can practice it on your own. And that way, you will never forget any tools and you can actually learn a lot faster. NIK Silver Efex, I'm going to show you a little bit or talk to you a little bit about the difference between the different structure. For instance, especially when it comes to the basic structure right there versus the fine structure. So what are the difference between those two exactly? I highly recommend you to go to the help section whenever necessary and then click on the user guide if requires. In this case, I already have this open and I'm going to read it out loud for you. So structure controls the overall structure of the image, increasing and setting emphasize details and texture while decreasing soften fine details for smoother surfaces. Other way to say, it's kind of like a micro contrast, let's say. However, it also helps you to get a fine sharpness. And fine structure, pretty much the same as the structure. However, it works on the fine detail. So to better understand what is good idea than setting you an example. So I'm going to do a global change. For instance, when I go slowly to 50% on a structure change, I'm going to zoom in quite a bit anyway, because I'm going to take a look at a couple of things. Take a look at our histogram on the top. If you don't see the histogram, let me help you out. I'm going to turn on my pen tool and then pay attention to the histogram, especially on highlights, midtone, and highlight, midtone, and shadow. Now you see the difference now. At 50% it's like that, and at 100% it works this way. Now let me show you before and after. So that's before and that after. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I will show you at the edges of the window here. So if you don't see the edges of the window, there you go. It's pretty much here. And I want you to pay attention to this area particularly as well. Why? Because take a look. So that's before and that's after, and unfortunately it looks like a broken kind of JPEG, but actually it's because I took the photo behind the window, because it boosted too much of a structure as an artifact. It shows like a painting-ish, kind of like a black and white painting or photocopy of an old image. Not that I'm saying it's bad at all, No way, I actually love it. It looks very old school artistic, but to avoid that kind of accident in unwanted area, though, this is wanted, I would say, but unwanted area, I think the soft structure, fine structure can help you better. For example, now I'm going to keep the split comparison, and then structure I will push it all the way. So if you look at the 100% of the soft, no, not the soft contrast, the fine structure, I apologize, the fine structure all the way to 100 versus 100 in the normal structure, you see that the fine structure kind of does a better job. It still looks nice, just about right, and there is a very minimum artifact in an unwanted area, and it can help you to not overdo too many things at all. So let me show you the difference, like the structure all the way high versus structure all the way, fine structure all the way high. And opposite is true too. So if you go backward, this looks super nice and soft. So opposite is actually makes it look much softer, which is fantastic if you want to give a soft look to an image, fantastic for portrait. However, again, to avoid overdoing things, I hope that you're paying attention to the histogram. Don't forget to pay attention to the histogram. So that's low. And fine structure, if you do the same thing, you see that quite subtle, very, very subtle, yet it makes it softer, but less aggressively. So that's the difference between the structure and the fine structure. I hope that example itself helped you out. To summarize it, to reduce the structure on an image, I recommend you to use that in a portrait or in a landscape, but to give kind of like a glowy look. High structure actually works better in my opinion, in architectural images, generally speaking. But of course, sky's the limit when it comes to art. So use your imagination and do whatever you want. Take care of yourself, and bye-bye.